Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Covered Up Productions. Ooh, that's a car. In this week's video, Alissa and I are going to be painting the R33 engine bay, which is pretty exciting. Should be good. So we're just on our way into town from her parents' place now, just to pick up paint, sanding stuff, all that sort of crap. So we've got everything we need to, so I can just basically jump in and start fixing it up. And then on the way home, Alissa is going to drive Nostalgia because she needs to see if she can handle the clutch it's got, because it's the same kind of clutch that is currently on her engine. And if she decides she can't handle it, then we're going to be taking it off and using it for something else. And if she decides she can handle it, then we will not take it off, obviously. But we have to come to that conclusion first, don't we? Yeah. Anyway, that's enough. I'll probably stop talking to camera now, because if a cop comes over any one of these hills, I'd probably lose my license, and I don't want to lose my license, so I'm going to stop talking to the camera now. Okay, bye. We're on a quest right now to find anywhere that's open that will sell Blue V, or that sells Blue V, because I'm an asshole and I refuse to drink anything that isn't Blue V. So yeah, I think that's a cop. Leave the camera rolling just in case he pulls me over, because oh, he turned off. Okay. No, I thought he was on a copper. So yeah, Blue V. Oh my god, what a fucking pain in the ass. They're cheap. And I got you this, so you wouldn't be cranky with me for getting so many. There you go. So we're gonna find some back roads around Queanbeyan. I say back roads realistically, we're literally just taking the back way to Alissa's, so it's a little bit more than just a highway straight. For Alissa to jump in the Stag and fill it out, see how she goes.
It's too heavy.
The clutch?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah, it's so heavy.
I don't think you'll stall.
I don't know what to do.
You've driven you daily a manual. I'm pretty sure you know what to do.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Okay, well the handbrake's off, all the way out. Is your foot on the brake?
Uh-huh.
Let your foot off the brake. We're not going to roll backwards. So just get it to about 1,500 RPM. Now let the clutch out, slowly. Clutch in, clutch in. Oh, there you go. And that's it, that's the scary part over.
I don't like
You don't like that? Okay, third, yeah, third. You're doing it!
I don't like this.
Doing skids in my car. On your dad's lawn.
Yep, that's it.
That's where she's staying? Yeah, she's totally straight and all. Oh, that was still in gear. Because the car doesn't turn off when you have to turn the tire.
Stupid!
Okay, before we get out, what did you think? Do you want to leave that clutch on there?
I guess.
Awesome, because that saves us a shitload of money and a shitload of time. And I really didn't want to fucking remove the clutch. Well, we got everything we're going to need to do the whole thing. All the way from cleaning, to sandpapering, to cleaning, to primer, to final coat. We decided to go with white because engine bay is already kind of white. Paint code is QM1, goddamn, just typical Nissan white, and that's the color that the car was originally. So that's the color the engine bay is already. Basically the reason we decided to go with this and not something else is because we're not going to be painting everything from the seam there all the way back up and around to the seam here is not going to be painted. So this wall up around there, that part there, and then this sort of whole section here will be painted, and then obviously this, and then up around the top. Basically going to be doing the exact same thing that I did on my Black 32, just a little bit less in depth, because we don't have absolutely everything out of the engine bay, and the reason for that again is because we didn't want to go that far into it. So we'll leave it at those sides and those basically all the parts that are visible from if you were to show meet. The only reason we are actually painting this is because it is just a little bit rough, and it's a bit of reassurance just for us, because we know that we're not going to have this engine out anytime soon unless something goes wrong with it. But fingers crossed, nothing goes wrong with it. Should be good. Let's do it. She's getting there. I almost don't want to paint it because it does look pretty damn nice still.
No, it looks ugly. It's not pretty. It looks ugly.
It's still pretty nice paint. It's still got some good. It's like it's rough, but it's still got some. It's
ugly.
It's whatever. We're gonna paint it regardless. So a bit of a recap to get you guys back up to date, and honestly more so to get myself back up to date with where I am. Engine bay has everything removed that we need to remove. It's all folded into the centre. We've got a sheet in there that's going to be used later on to mask up everything. It's also currently the seat to clean everything. Alissa got in here and did a pretty good job cleaning out a lot of the grease and grime, which is great. Of course, with things like painting, it's one of those things where there's no room for real error or leftover grease, grime and stuff like that. So basically what I'll be doing is going through and redoing everything that Alissa did yesterday and all the parts that I cleaned yesterday, just to make sure that they're clean, otherwise paint won't stick to the surface and it'll come out looking shit, and we don't want that. Rightio guys, as you can see the engine bay is clean, or it's as clean as it's going to get. 5 hours I've been in this engine bay, scrubbing it all over with a toothbrush and some degreaser. We'll grab that, jump in there, put the camera up there, film this. Gonna skip the 80 grit and go straight up to the 240. And that should just about do it for sanding. Alrighty, well it's now day 3. It's all done, ready to paint. All we have to do is mask off everything, sand that little front area, and then I'm thinking we're going to bring like a little gas heater in here or something like that. Maybe just plunk in the middle of the engine bay, heat up, try and get the temp in the shed up, close the doors so that the temperature of the steel is a little bit less than freezing, because anything under 15 degrees is bad and can cause orange peel, and we don't want that. Alrighty guys, well the engine is fully prepped, engine bay is fully prepped and ready for paint. The only thing left to do is go over it just before we lay that paint down and give it some love with the turpentine, make sure it's actually clean. We are going to be doing primer now. I originally wasn't going to, but because we ended up spreading the original area that we're going to be painting, I decided it was probably better to use the primer, and we actually sanded back a little bit more than I thought we would have. We did go back to metal in some parts, so we'll definitely end up using that primer, and worst case scenario, if it scratches through that in the primer, it's still got a bit of white, just not in all the spots. Hey, what's up guys, and coming to you from the future. I'm currently halfway through editing the video you are currently watching, and I've just come across the fact that I've lost a shitload of footage. Basically all of my footage from day 4, which is the first 2 coats of primer, or the only 2 coats of primer, and the first coat of colour has been lost. All of that footage is unaccountable for. I can't find it. It's not on either of my SD cards. It's not on the computer anywhere. I think I just haven't transferred it across properly. I've lost the footage, and yeah, it sucks. So yeah, just wanted to check back in halfway through the video with a bit more than just a bit of text saying, hey, I lost the footage, sorry, and let you guys know that I didn't edit around it really shittily. I lost the footage. So yeah, in saying that, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll do my best to try and make it still somewhat interesting. Yeah, fucking sucks. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video, guys. Bye. Alrighty guys, welcome back to what will be day 5 of working on Alissa's R33 engine bay. As you can see, the car is well and truly, well, the engine bay is well and truly white now, but as you probably noticed, there's a few spots where we've had to wait for it to fully dry, sand it back completely, and then just obviously we're going to have to go back over those spots and clean them up again. Basically the plan for today is to get the fire going that's in the shed, try and get one complete coat on the engine bay. And the best thing is, with the dry air and the heat from the fire, is it'll sort of cook it like an oven and make the paint a lot stronger, and it'll come out a lot better. And then we'll just leave it for a day or 2 after taking the tape off, taking all the masking off, and essentially finishing the video. It'll be a day or 2 before we start throwing that in there. Just got to try and wrap this stuff in plastic so we can actually sit in there and get up into the angles and that sort of stuff. Get some better coverage on the engine bay. Alrighty guys, well we have got the heater absolutely pumping away. I've got the little one in here just putting, like, basically just blowing hot air in there, trying to heat up the engine bay as much as I can. And then I'll end up using a hairdryer. I did yesterday, ended up working really well, basically just heating the panel up nice and hot, or nice and warm before actually applying the paint, made the paint stick a lot better. But yeah, the shed is considerably warmer than it is outside. 26 degrees, 330 or 320, and the humidity is just low. So last time it had a number on it, it was at 20, so obviously it's below that, which is great and good for painting. So we're ready to go. First of the final 2 coats done, and I gotta say that's honestly the best coat that's laid down. I've got one more coat to go in 10 to 20 minutes, and then that's it. Then I'm gonna stoke up the fire so it stays heated for a couple of hours, and I'm gonna leave this bitch until the morning, and then we're gonna come back, I'm gonna unwrap it, and that's it. I'm not picking up any more paint cans. I'm fucking over it. It's been 30 minutes, she's ready for the final coat. And the temperature is starting to drop off towards the end of the night. Gonna jump in, do the final coat, and that's it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm over it. And that is the final coat. Went over and did a coat, a light coat, and then whenever I did another light coat as the 2 final coats rather than doing one thicker coat, just because I really wanted to get no runs. No runs. There were a couple spots where the can unfortunately dripped, which is going to be blatantly obvious, but I mean it's going to dry out and it'll be fine. Tyre paint job is done now. All it's left to do is wait overnight. Alrighty guys, it is now Sunday and the engine bay is ready to unwrap. Pretty happy with the paint this morning. It's got a bit of stuff on it from, I guess, the fire putting out smoke overnight. It's settled on the engine bay, but it hasn't dried into it or anything like that, so that's fine. I guess that's another advantage of having the temperature right for when we were painting. It was almost dry to the touch as soon as it made contact with the metal, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm mounting the camera up, unwrap it and go over it. All done. Alyssa's engine bay is officially all painted, all cleaned, and all ready for the RB25 DET to be dropped in. Anyway guys, that brings us to the end of this week's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have, leave a like, leave a comment down below telling me what you think, whether or not you reckon I did an absolute shit of a job or whether you reckon it's actually okay. I kind of want to know. I like seeing your comments. If you have made it this far and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Anyway guys, I hope you've enjoyed. I look forward to catching the next one because the next one will hopefully be dropping the RB25 DET back in. I'll see you in that one. Bye.